Okay, let's move on to new material. Chords by thirds, triads. Okay, triads are used in this century in ways that were not necessarily done in the 18th and 19th century. Chords in the earlier period, we call that common practice era. Okay, that's what the terminology that we use to talk about music basically before about 1900. Really revolved around these three chords, tonic, subdominant, and dominant, all moving to anticipation of a harmonic cadence. The dominant and subdominant chords balance the tonic by intervals of a fifth, and these relationships, 5 to 1 and 4 to 1, dominate all others, basically in the tonal spectrum. The remaining chords are considered secondary, and they act as variety or contrast once we've established the key. So this subdominant-dominant harmony is essential for the cadential feeling, and that's why this progression is governed by the fifth relationship, or a cycle of fifths. You can see here the 1, the 4, and the 5, and it moves up by fifths till we finally get to a sharp 5 as you keep moving up the chain of fifths. But we can have triads by intervals by other intervals in the fifths. For example, a cycle of thirds or a cycle of seconds, the relationship. These relationships can be convincing to the ear when the cycle is also confirmed by passing or cadential chordal movements. That means movements kind of resolution sounding. In a third relationship, which we call a cycle of thirds, the 3 and 6 balance and support the 1. So the 1, 3, and 6 are primary chords, and the remaining are secondary. So we're talking about, this is a tonic, so this would replace the 4, and this would replace the 5, and this would replace the 3. This is also can be done. In a second relationship, a cycle of seconds, the 2 and 7 establish the tonic in their balanced relationship. Okay, so these are all valid, of course. The harmonic motion to and from primary chords may change in shifting cycles. So you can have three relationships. The three relationships we're talking about are the second, third, and fifth, gives movement within a scale. Every intervallic root progression is possible because movements of the second, third, and fifth are identical to the sixth, seventh, and fourth by inversion. So every interval is covered if you're using these three relationships. And as the intervals between moving roots appear as major, minor, diminished, or augmented, the whole intervallic 12-tone compass is available. So this just shows you by moving through this, we have all these different modes that are going to be used in this example. Can we play this? 3/7?
The earliest one you have is 3/14.
Oh, we need this to be played on piano, that's right. Una más. One more time.
Slow.
Yeah.
That's an A, sorry. That's a B natural, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's an idea of it. Thank you. So we can view the cycle of fifths, thirds in a chart and see their implications. So this would be cycle of fifths. So these are what the chords would be comparable to if we're doing a different series, not just series of fifths. So the 1 is the same, the 5 is could be a 3 or a 2, the 2, etc., etc. So it's all in different ways of viewing the relationship instead of our fifths. And so here, this would be the cycle of fifths, and this would be a cycle of thirds, and this would be a cycle of seconds. All just different movements, different ways to look at it.